morning, everyone. It is November 4th, 2024. It is Monday, and I am on schedule. Look at that. I am going to get this done really quick because I have a whatnot auction to do at my mom's house. So we are going to wrap up what sold this week, starting with this lot of O-balls. Now, I find these in the Goodwill bins all the stinking time. And have you seen how much these things run in the store? It's ridiculous. So, always grab them. The little balls, like these, let's see, like these right here, I mean, they weigh nothing. And then you've got the little cars, they weigh a little bit more, but there's Disney ones. So there's Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, Daffy Duck. There's Mike and Sully you can get. What are some other ones? Oh, I've gotten Winnie the Pooh before. So anywho, they used to sell really well and they've kind of petered out a little. So I had all of these in my death pile that I needed to list. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to put them all up. Sure enough, I put them all up. I get emails. Can you sell this one separate? Can you sell this one? It's like, oh my God, I already tried that and nobody wanted it. So finally somebody asked if I would take, I think 60 for just the regular balls or something. And I said, I can't. I literally just listed it the other day. And I said, but feel free to buy them all and resell the ones you want. And I guess that's what he's doing because he bought it. So these sold for $109.99. I think if I remember correctly, when I shipped this, it was like 7 pounds. So it was probably about like $10 worth of O-balls from the Goodwill bins that I turned into 110. So not too shabby on this one. You guys know me and my Scentsy buddies. They're kind of, unless they're specialty ones, they're kind of dwindling a little. I don't know if they even still make these. Do they still make these? I don't know. But this was a little St. Bernard dog, and he came with a scent pack. He was in really good shape, and so I went ahead and sold him, again, like I find these in the Goodwill bins for super cheap, and he sold for $9.99. Next is this pack of new Cabbage Patch Kid diapers. I think there were like 6 in there. I kind of had to look at the side to make out how many were in there, but it looked like there were 6, so I listed as 6. I hope there was 6. Goodwill bin's fine, and this sold and shipped super cheap too, because I mean these were really lightweight, and sold for $29.99. So when my mom goes to the Goodwill bins without me, she always keeps an eye out for little figures and toys that I can use to make keychains out of for my other website. So she'd grab this, and then I was like, what is this? This looks like this might be worth something, because it says Series 1 Little Teammates on it. So I looked it up, and sure enough, it's actually worth something. So instead of making a keychain out of this, I just went ahead and sold it. Sold for $9.99. Next item that sold on eBay is this super cool Mr. Toad's Auto Repair hat, still with the tags on it from Disney Parks. This I got at the thrift store on their half price day. I want to say I paid like $2. I really need to start marking notes of what I paid for stuff when I list it so that I know. But I want to say this was like $4 and it was half off day and I'll probably pay $2. And I know I had it upwards of like 20, like upper 20s, I think at some point. Because it is new with tags, because it is Disney Parks, and it is like kind of a rare hat to find. But slowly lower the price. I listed this back in March, and it finally sold for $19.99. I think I mentioned a while back that my 6-year-old twins are heavily into Disney Infinity, which is the game where you put these little play pieces on, and then you get to play that piece. So the more pieces you have, the more fun the game gets. And having twins, of course, they have to fight over all the same characters. So for a while, I was buying these really big lots of Disney Infinity characters for really cheap in an attempt to get them as many characters as possible, because that's just how I roll, and to try and get duplicates. So, of course, in doing this, I ended up with triplicates and quadruplets, and so all of these extras I am trying to unload on eBay. So this is a set of 4 from Disney Pixar Cars, and they sold for $14.99. I tend to find these calico critters in the Goodwill bin sometimes a little rough because they're flocked, and I know there's like 1, 2, 3 thingies in here that aren't exactly calico critters, but they were similar enough I just threw them in there. Some of them had their clothes, some did not. They are in varying degrees of condition. As you can see, the pig here, he's a little dirty. I have never figured out how to clean flocked items, so I just list them as is. And these sold relatively quick, actually. Let's see, they were listed on the 27th of October, and they sold on the 29th. So 2 days, they were up And I just put them as a buy it now for $29.99. And you figure since these are pretty lightweight, I probably paid $1 or $2 for them. So made pretty decent money, and I didn't even have to sit down and clean them either, which is kind of cool. Next item that's sold is this Wicked Cool Toys Nintendo Pokemon Marshadow. He looks kind of like a dark squid. This was part of that lot of Pokemon plush that I got at a garage sale. I think everything averaged about $2 a piece. And this one sold for $10.99. I don't know about you guys, but I grew up watching Fraggle Rock. So when I saw this at a garage sale for $1, I knew exactly what it was. And it's a toy factory too. So it's Toy Factory, it's Jim Henson's, it's vintage, and it's Fraggle Rock, which is a guaranteed sale of $19.99 apparently. But yes, I did get this at a garage sale for $1 and turned it into 20. So I keep seeing people talking about Christmas items, and they're like, do I wait till Christmas to list them? Other people are saying, oh, I sell Christmas stuff all year round, just list it. I listed this in February, and what do you know? It didn't sell till end of October. Actually, November 1st. This actually sold November 1st. Like, literally, people are like, it's November, let's buy Christmas stuff. This is an Olaf stocking, new with tags. It was from Kohl's for $29.99. I believe I got it at a garage sale, if you can see that little tag that I had taken off. I probably paid 50 cents, $1 for this, and it sold for $9.99 after, what, 10 months? Yeah, I could have probably just saved on fees and listed this now. I was so torn with these. So I've had these up for a while. Let's see, March 15th is when they were listed, and it is now November. These are from the Awkward Yeti. They are the brain and the heart plushies. I picked them out at the Goodwill bins because they looked weird. And when something's weird or different or goofy or unusual, you grab it and you look it up. And I found that these were really hard to find plush. I have had these listed upwards of $100 because for a while no one else had any of these, or they were selling one of them for like 80. So I was like, well, let me sell both of them for 100, and that's a good deal, right? Over time, lowered. I know at one point I even put it up for an auction. Like, I don't know. I just expected these to sell faster, and they did not. But either way, for Goodwill bin finds that I probably paid about 70, 80 cents for, they did finally sell for $39.99. So when it comes to candles and wax melts, I typically try to wait till later in the year when it is cooler to list them, because I do not like listing and selling these in the summer and someone from Arizona buys it and the post office just leaves it on their front porch for a day in the hot sun and they're ruined. So I finally got around to listing a bunch of my wax melts because we were coming into the time of year where it makes sense. And these are Woodwick ones. These actually got at an estate sale. They had like their bathtub in their bathroom like full of these things. And you know me, I grabbed the name brand ones. So these are the Woodwick ones. There were 7 in here, and they sold for $29.99. Now, in that same breath, I kind of made a little extra on these because the same lady that bought those also bought these. So these I had just listed the other day. These are Yankee Candle, the tarts. There were all sorts of different scents in here. I'm assuming some of them are probably retired. There's like Christmas ones. There's like some Halloween ones. We got some spiced pumpkin. We got snowflake one. They're just like all over the board. And I was like, let me just lot them up and run them. And I did. And they sold for $89.99. Now these I'll pick up at garage sales for really cheap, like 10 cents, 25 cents. Or Goodwill bins. Like, these things multiply in the bins. So always grab these. Specifically the Yankee Candle ones. They are the only ones that seem to sell really well. But yes, do not look past these. They are worth some money, especially depending on the scents that you have. This is another item that finally sold. This one took a while. It was listed October 29th of last year. It smells really good, guys. So when this was in my bin out at my storage unit, and I went to go pull it, I pulled the bin out and you could smell the awesomeness. This thing smells amazing. And what I do love about Bath & Body Works and Yankee Candle is, yes, you pay more for the candles, but when you burn them, you actually smell them. I get very frustrated when I buy a candle that you sniff and it smells really good, and then you burn it and nothing. So this was amazing. I really contemplated keeping this for myself. but it sold, so let's do that. Sold for $24.99. I made sure to pack this in a 6x6x6 box with lots of bubble wrap. Also, when I sell candles, I put fragile and heat sensitive stickers on the box so they know not to leave it out in the Arizona sun. However, I understand that can't always be done, but I try, guys. I picked up this little rabbit in the Goodwill bins, so he didn't cost me a heck of a lot. I do know, like, if you watch, like, Harry Tornado as a reseller and everything, their Goodwill, they can get, like, a whole garbage bag of plush for $1. Not gonna lie, a little bit jealous about that because I would probably just sell plush at that point, honestly. It's funny because when I was a kid, nobody wanted plush. You're all worried about bed bugs and germs and then everybody has kids and these things multiply in their house. But select plushies do very, very well on eBay, so do not overlook them. This one, everyone likes Alice in Wonderland, so I figured this was a safe bet. It is the Just Play brand, 13 inches tall, and he sold for $12.99. I think this is the very last of my acne gel. I had adult acne for the longest time, finally got things under control. This stuff helped. They do not sell this formula anymore. Trust me, I've tried. I've also contacted Murad and asked them, do you have a new product that's comparable? They sent me one. No, not the same. Anywho, my acne has cleared up tremendously. I did not need these anymore. And I know, I paid like $40 a pop for these. And I ended up buying them on eBay because you couldn't find them in the stores anymore. They've gone down in price a little, which is a little shocking. But anywho, I did sell it for $19.99. So in a whole scheme of things, I bought this years ago for $40 and sold it for $20. So it's not aging like a fine wine. I figured it would sell the same or higher just because of the length of time it's been discontinued. But anyway, I was happy to unload the very last one finally. And last but not least, I had this little bag of minifigs. These were ones that, you find in the Goodwill bins and you just pluck them out. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to list these. I know some of these can be valuable. Like we got Batman. We've got Spider-Man in here. We got a guy with a red dunce hat. I don't know. I don't know enough about these to have listed them separately and price them out. So what I did was I put it up on an auction and let it ride. I let the public tell me what it was worth. And let's see who bought this. Where is it showing? Doesn't show who bought it. Anywho, they apparently thought it was worth $16. So sweet. So that is all I have for what sold on eBay this week. I got my death pile down pretty good last week. So there's not a whole lot for me to list anymore. I did go out on Saturday. My daughter watched my younger kids. I did go out to the unit for a few hours to get some photos to list more keychains. Because we are in Q4 and I'm hoping a lot of people are going to start buying those for gifts. So I want to get some of those listed. So yeah, and then today I'm doing a Whatnot auction over at my mom's. We're doing $5 starts on full flat rate boxes full of themed goodies. So we are going to be doing that here in about an hour and a half and running that. I have 2 Whatnot shows for my littlest pet shop this week. And then somewhere in there I have to get work done. This is just the story of my life right now, but I am just going to ride this train while I can. So I will let you guys go, and I will see you next Monday to talk about what sold on eBay. Have a great week, guys.